Can an introvert be visible? This is a question that I'll be honest, I asked myself a lot when I started this business because that was one of the excuses that I used as to not showing up on video, not like wanting to take a picture of myself, not wanting to do like a selfie because I thought it was what did I think selfies were? Selfies were like you were full of yourself, conceited if you took a selfie. So obviously, whatever excuse I could find, I said to not get on video, right? And I do believe in our businesses, we get to do what we want to do, what we find joy in, right? And I will be honest that back in 2016, Chrissy did not find joy in video. I just didn't. It wasn't something I enjoyed doing. It wasn't something I wanted to do, but I knew for my business growth that it was something that I should do. And it was also a really big fear of mine. And that fear, and I'm really a big believer in whatever we are afraid to do is probably what's holding us back. So um I decided to get over myself and really embrace getting on video. And that's a whole nother story on how that happened. And you can check out my freebie on that to hear more about that story. But what I want you to know is this. I hated video because I was afraid of it. As an introvert, as somebody who got hives like all the way up her neck, as somebody who struggled uh, with saying too much and all of these things, right? So I had a lot of fears that were wrapped around video. But had I not given video a chance, I would not be where I am today, number one. But number two, I would not have fallen in love with it. I am my best self when I am showing up on video. My business is the best business when I'm showing up on video. When I am serving and supporting others in ways of video content, I am my best self. I'm filling my cup. I feel passionate about getting on video. I feel, I would not say it's perfect. It will never be perfect. And I don't aim for perfection and I don't teach perfection. I don't teach overproduced videos. I teach this is what you get right here. Right here. This is it. This is what happens. This is what you get. And if we zoom in really close, there's probably some dog hair on this shirt somewhere because it's black. Okay. So, but what I want you to know is that had I not been willing to give video a chance, this introvert would never have gotten on video. Now, when I'm not on video, I don't feel like myself. I feel like it is an outlet for me. I feel like it is a way to deliver my message. I feel like it is a way to talk to my audience. And a way to build that relationship, even if it's one-sided. But as an introvert, there are many ways that we can get visible that we are not taking advantage of. The number one way that you can be visible as an introvert is to be consistent with something, okay? Consistent with something, not consistently putting out motivational content, because let's be honest, that gets you like friend zoned, and that's pretty much it, right? So, oh, she keeps me very motivated, but right, we want other things. We want some substance from even our introverts, right? And so, number one, we get to be consistent, consistently show up. Whatever way you choose to show up, be consistent with it. That consistency, that compound effect is what builds relationships. That compound effect is what builds like, know, and trust. Because if you're going to show up for me like this for free, what are you going to do for me when I pay you? Right? It's that law of reciprocity. I would, as an introvert, we want to do as much not putting ourselves out there. And it's not even just being introverted. I'm shy. I'm socially awkward. I'm backward. So if you are any of those things, you may feel the same way. And if you take this video right here that I'm recording and you compare it to 2016 Chrissy, it's like night and day. I mean, there are years of videos that have happened through that. There are thousands, like 10,000 hours of video content and being on stages and presenting and teaching that has evolved in that amount of time. And I'm still not perfect. Can we just be really clear about that? If we had an counter on this video, I don't know how many times I would say it, but I do say it, right? So it's obviously better than it used to be, but I still say The next thing is that obviously showing ourselves as much as possible is key. And that can be in a video, that can be in a behind the scenes, that can be a what we call like a time lapse video. And you can see here, I'm just going to show you if you're watching on video and not the podcast, you're going to see right here that I am always capturing behind the scene content, especially now that I have this other little cool thing. So whenever I can capture behind the scenes content, I am going to capture it. Or sometimes I may use this to go live somewhere else at the same time, right? Whatever I can do to maximize my time. But behind the scenes doesn't mean I'm looking right at the camera. I could literally be on a Zoom call interacting and engaging with my audience, and they're just and the phone is just getting me, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm on. Like, I don't get like that feeling like, oh my gosh, people are watching me, right? Because I would just be in my element. So these are some great ways as an introvert that you can get visible. Being interviewed, right? Having a podcast, your voice, that is your messaging. And it doesn't necessarily, like, there are video podcasts because my Spotify and my YouTube are video, but everything else is audio. And again, you don't have to show up on video all the time. We have this great thing now called Reels and TikTok. We can literally video our feet walking outside and do a voiceover of our messaging. I could speed this video up that's watching me right now and literally put a quote on it, do a voiceover, put my messaging, put my 5 best tips for XYZ. We make things harder than they need to be, even non-introverts, right? We make things harder than they need to be. They don't need to be that hard. They don't need to be that difficult. I could literally sit here. It wouldn't show up very good, but I could like write on Post-its. I could write on my iPad. Of course, it's not going to work right now, but like, would you go away? Yes, my cloud is full, but I could literally like hold this up like and be writing a message, right? And then I could make it faster or whatever. There's so many things that we can do, even as introverts. We can blog, we can do video blogs. We don't have to go live, right? We can show up and tell our story and just make sure that our content is impactful. Make sure that our content is purposeful. Making sure that we're passionate about the type of content that we put out, that we're not posting to post, that we really think about it and put a lot of time into it. Not a lot of time into it. We put a lot of thought into it. But what I want you to know is that being a quote, air quote, introvert, right, does not mean you have to be face to, and I don't have my phone here, so we're going to use the iPad. You don't have to be like this all the time or like this all the time, right? There are other ways that you can do this and still show up, still get your message out there. I've been creating GIFs. I've been creating all these things, and there's just multiple ways to gain attention, to get noticed, to be heard, to be seen, which is what I really want for you. And then I also want you to get paid, right? Even as an introvert, those things can happen for you. Those things can really change your life, right? So I have a free guide, and it will be out this week on how to be like my favorite ways to be visible as an introvert, all my tips and tricks. So make sure that if you want a copy of that, that you comment me on this so that I can get that to you. And it's also accountability to finish the funnel and get it ready so that I can give you access to it. So if you want this guide, make sure you drop me. And if you have any questions about being visible as an introvert, being visible as an extrovert, however that looks for you, I am here to serve and support you, because the ways that we can be visible will blow your mind. They are not all video. They're not all audio. There's so many ways. And I am really going to dedicate the rest of this year to talk more about this, to serve and support you more with this, because I believe it's something that we don't always talk about. There's a lot of mindset work. There's a lot of blocks on getting on video sometimes. And obviously, if you've tried all those and you're like, I just hate video, Chrissy, I'm just not doing it, then we get to find other ways. But if you've never tried video and you're just telling me you hate video, then you get to give video a shot. You get to get uncomfortable. You get to try it out and see the impact that it has on your audience, and then tell me you hate it, if that's the case. So, as an introvert, you can grow a big business. You don't have to be wild and crazy. You don't have to be like super out there. You don't have to wear really bright colors to draw attention to yourself. I hate being the center of attention, so I totally get it. Unless I'm on stage, it's the only time I want you paying attention to me. But for the most part, I walk into a room, the people that I don't know, and I migrate to one person that looks really kind, and I strike up a conversation with them. That is how I work. Again, unless I'm there to teach, unless I'm there to present, that is just me in my whole introverted nature. And that is okay. And you have permission to continue to want to be that way. You have permission to continue to need your alone time to recharge, because as introverts, that's what we do. And you have permission to keep a safe space when it comes to the online and growing your business. So I hope this helped you. I hope this served you. If you want that guide, make sure you comment so that I can get that in your hands as soon as it's complete.